Powerpuff Girls, the main event. Things are gonna get hairy. The city of Townsville, where the Powerpuff Girls are about to find themselves tangled in another hair-raising situation. After crawling out of bed one fine morning, Bubbles and Buttercup began brushing Blossom's long red hair. "Oh, Blossom," Bubbles squealed, "your hair is so beautiful." To tell the truth, Bubbles and Buttercup were secretly just a wee bit jealous of their sister's lovely hair. Bubbles' blonde pigtails were cute and perky, but Buttercup's short and sassy hairdo suited her personality. But Blossom's hair fell past her shoulders like a prancing pony's mane. Buttercup and Bubbles twisted Blossom's gorgeous locks into a wacky hair sculpture. "Look at the fluffy red bunny I made with just a few clips and bows," cried Bubbles. "Forget the rabbit," Buttercup snorted. "A twist here, some hairspray there, and presto, chango, a super cool racetrack with real hairpin turns." "Hey, cut that out," Blossom fumed. "Give me a normal hairdo." Bubbles and Buttercup struggled to comb through the snarls and kinks they made in their sister's hair. "I just have to get this last knot," Buttercup said as she pulled out a mass of tangles. She gave a powerful yank and... "Ouch!" Blossom yelped. "What's going on back there?" Buttercup looked from the clump of red hair in her hand to the bald spot on the back of Blossom's head. Nothing," she stammered. All Bubbles could say was, "Oops." Buttercup had to think fast. "Hold on a second, Blossom. We just need to trim a few split ends." The two sisters went to work desperately to fix the damage they had done. Snip, snip, snip. The hair was flying everywhere. "Are you finished yet?" Blossom asked anxiously. Buttercup looked at Bubbles and winced. "Yep, we're done." "I'll say," Bubbles whispered. Just then the hotline rang. "Hello, Mayor," Blossom chirped. "What's really? Okay, we're on our way." Blossom turned to her sisters and found them snickering. "What are you laughing at?" she demanded. All Buttercup and Bubbles could do was giggle. Their faces turned bright red. "Come on," yelled Blossom. "There's trouble in Townsville." Blossom zipped into the air. Bubbles and Buttercup followed close behind her, trying to stifle their laughter. In downtown Townsville, a bigger problem was waiting for them. A massive blob blocked the sun, turning day into night. The citizens of Townsville stood frozen in horror as the monstrous ball floated over the city's skyscrapers. Suddenly, the ball opened a huge, disgusting eye. A laser beam shot from the enormous eye, tumbling a skyscraper to the ground. The citizens ran screaming through the streets. "The eyes have us," shouted one. "I spy the eyeball of doom," cried another. The humongous eye drifted through town, vaporizing everything in sight. Zing! Zonk! Ships disappeared from the water. Planes were zapped from the air. Bridges vanished in a flash. As the Powerpuff Girls zoomed into Townsville, they couldn't believe their eyes. The monster actually had hundreds of eyeballs, each with its own laser beam. The giant eye could see what was happening behind it, above it, and below it. It could see everything. Nothing was safe from the monster's lethal laser rays. Blossom wasn't about to give up without a fight. She flew to face the monster eye to eye. "Party's over, you nearsighted nerd. I'm going to give you one chance to stop this senseless destruction and get out of Townsville. Otherwise, I'm going to teach you a lesson." Blossom hovered in the air, ready to attack the evil eye. But to her surprise, the monster started laughing. The evil eye was laughing at her. And so were Bubbles, Buttercup, and all the people of Townsville. "Hey, what's so funny?" Blossom asked. Just then, Blossom caught a sight of her reflection in the window of a skyscraper. She looked in horror at her hairdo catastrophe. "I've been scalped," Blossom shrieked. The humiliation of having her beautiful hair chopped off was too much to bear. She zoomed away, leaving Buttercup and Bubbles to fight the evil eye monster alone. With Blossom gone, the monster was no longer amused. Out of the corner of its many eyes, it saw Buttercup and Bubbles and shot a laser beam straight at them. Zoink, splot, wonk. In a matter of moments, the girls were dodging laser beams in every direction. The girls tried to find an opening to attack the monster, but it was no use. Laser beams shot out from all of the monster's eyes. There were hundreds of them. "We need to launch a sneak attack," Buttercup cried. "How can we do a sneak attack when the monster can see everything?" Bubbles asked. At home, Blossom was watching the news reports on television. The Powerpuff Girls seemed powerless against the monster. But let's look on the bright side. At least we can laugh at Blossom's haircut. "Hey, Blossom, trying to start a new trend. You know what they say, bald is beautiful." Blossom hid her head in shame. Even the TV announcer was making fun of her. Professor Utonium walked by the bedroom and peeked inside. "Blossom, honey, what's wrong?" he asked gently. "You shouldn't be sitting here alone in the dark." "Go away," Blossom huffed. "There's no need to hide under the blanket," said the professor. "That's what you think," she replied. The professor looked concerned. "Whatever's troubling you, Blossom, it can't be that bad. Wanna bet?" Blossom uncovered her head, exposing her hair-raising hairdo. "Holy haircut!" yelled the professor. Gee, honey, did you cut your hair?" "No, Bubbles and Buttercup butchered it." Blossom was close to tears. "I'm never going to go outside again." "Blossom, you can't hide under the covers and wait until your hair grows long again. Your sisters are in danger. They need your help." "But I can't face the world like this, Professor. Everyone will laugh at me." "Is it so bad?" the professor asked. "All of us have difficulties we must overcome. It's up to you to find a way to turn your don'ts into a hairdo." Blossom thought for a moment. Then her eyes flashed. "Hey, I've got it. Okay, Professor, gotta fly." As soon as Blossom was gone, the professor burst into laughter. He couldn't help it. Back in Townsville, the eye monster was still vaporizing the city. All Buttercup and Bubbles could do was dodge the deadly laser beams and watch things go up in smoke. They fled to a new building under construction. "It's no use," Buttercup said in defeat. "There's no place left to take cover." When suddenly there was Blossom to the rescue. "Hey there, 400 Eyes," Blossom hollered. "So what do you think? Do I or don't I need a wig? Only my hairdresser knows for sure." The monster blinked, then began to laugh and laugh. Blossom continued her comedy routine. "So I went to the doctor and he said, 'What's wrong?' And I said, 'Doc, I have this terrible cough.'" Everyone roared with laughter, including the monster. As Blossom told one joke after another, Bubbles and Buttercup watched the evil eye while it was still laughing. "Look, Buttercup," cried Bubbles, "the monster has all of its eyes closed. Now's our chance." In an instant, Bubbles blasted an eye beam, breaking off a plank on the scaffolding. Buttercup grabbed a heavy metal column and made her move. Before the evil eye knew what had hit it, Buttercup had batted the giant eyeball into the next galaxy. On the street below, the citizens of Townville were still cackling with laughter. Buttercup and Bubbles joined in and laughed too. I know, Blossom said. "My hair looks like a Halloween gag." "We're not laughing At you, Buttercup explained. We're laughing because we're happy. We thought we were goners. And we're sorry we laughed at you in the first place, Bubbles added. Really? Blossom asked. I do look pretty weird. Well, we have to agree with you, Buttercup replied. Blossom eyed her sisters carefully, then she zapped both of them with her eye beams. When the smoke cleared, Bubbles and Buttercup each had their own hideous hairdos. So, does this mean we're even? Asked Bubbles. Sure, said Blossom with a grin. Now we're even. And so, once again, the day is saved, thanks to the Powerpuff Girls.